Ah ha ha. Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Thanks for jumping in on the Cowboy Crunk Show. Just wanted to go over a few things. I gotta adjust the camera again. Apologize, guys. I'm in here doing this on the fly, kind of. There we go. All right, now we're good. What's up, guys? Let me refresh the YouTube screen. Wanted to go live a little bit before the game tonight, go over some positions that are vital to us this evening. Also, check out some of the things. What's up, Cowboys fan 421? Let's go, Cowboys. Rowdy friend in the house. You're the first one on the page. Wanted to say hello to you guys real quick. What I wanted to go over is exactly what's in the topic. Three bold predictions. This is for the start of the season. Not really for tonight or anything, but I got some bold predictions. I think that are gonna tonight's game is gonna basically tell the story we want told for the rest of the season as far as a couple positions are concerned. And I want to talk about them hot boys, them hot boys. As you guys know, our defensive line has taken on the name a while back, Hot Boys, and it hasn't taken off yet. As of this year, currently, as this year in the preseason, the two games we only have one sack, so that's not too hot. The Cowboys play tonight at 7, I believe. If that's wrong, if it's tomorrow, I'm tripping. Let me check. I thought I checked this earlier. The reason is we have a dinner date that I've been checking on, and oh my goodness, brother, how in the hell? I've been YouTubing so much this week. Everything with Mark Holmes. Hey, thank you guys. Yeah, bro, that's awesome. That really changes my. It's not good actually. I was ready for it tonight. Now I feel like a complete. How do I not know when the game is? Dude, I've been looking at this schedule all week and never looked at the date. I was looking at the time. I just assumed last week most of the games were played on Saturday and Friday. So I apologize, guys. Man, that is awesome, bro. Thank you. We have dinner tonight. I think I could go change that now. And I've been planning that all week, and I just looked at Saturday and never looked at it again. So, man, wow. Okay. Well, we'll discuss the hot boys, them hot boys tomorrow. But what I was looking at on the situation with the three bold predictions, and I'll put the bold predictions out right now, and then I'll go ahead and explain them throughout the video. First, at safety, I do predict we will. Thank you, brother. Hey, what's up, Juan Menendez Juan Mendez? I'm sorry, brother. The prediction is on safety. I do think we're going to get Earl Thomas. There's just been too many situations, and I'll go over those that just directly point to it from Seattle, from Earl Thomas, and from the Cowboys. And also the fan base is for the most part about 75-80% behind it. So if we don't do that, basically if we don't make that move, the management is letting down us as fans, especially if we don't win a Super Bowl. The only way that we would be happy with not having Earl Thomas is if we don't make the Earl Thomas trade and we get a Super Bowl. So moving on from that, I will go back to that and point out about 10 different things to include. Like Earl Thomas has been down in Dallas forever, training with the Longhorns, which he's a strong part of. Also, today, about 2 hours ago, he posted on his Instagram that he's doing an inspection. Now, he said today's inspection day. So I'll explain that a little more. It was a picture of him and his daughter it looked like they were purchasing a home. But also he works with a company down there called On It, and I think he has also an interest as far as ownership or something there. But he's been working with them for a long time. They sponsor him. He goes down there and trains a lot. with the Longhorns, and it's a gym facility. It's ONNIT. If you guys want to look it up, they have a training facility down there that they train a lot of elite athletes and a lot of the elite athletes from University of Texas, to include Olympians and stuff like that. And Earl Thomas has worked with that place for a while, and he posted up down there, and he's doing some type of inspection with his daughter there. So to me, I sent a picture of it to my aunt, and it looks like to me like he's purchasing a house, because to me that's what inspection day is. He's either purchasing a business or but with his daughter there and his family there and his wife there, I assume that they're looking at a house in the Austin area. So we'll see. To move on to the second position, and I'll go back and explain some other things at safety here later. To move on to the second position is tight end. My second bold prediction is we will sign Rico Gathers. That's a lock. I don't think there's any way around it. They're not going to cut him. They're not going to, there's a small chance that they decide they don't like his attitude or don't like this thing that he did way back on Instagram concerning liking some comment called "Fire Jason Garrett." Hey, thanks X Factor. Yeah, jumping in on Joe Boo. We're here to support him. I haven't heard anything from him today. I'm just getting up and moving around, but I'm sure he'll get it going again, guys. And I want to explain. I want to talk to him concerning why I think that happened. I have a scenario, and we'll see. What's up, Herb? Herb out of Tennessee there is going to be at the draft to see us at the draft. That's a long ways down the road, but just a shout out to Herb, Cowboys fan 21, Rowdy friend, Roger Ash. What's up, brother? How you doing? Thanks for jumping in on the page. So I do think we'll sign Rico Gathers. I think that's a lock. There's no way around it. There's a small chance they might look at a trade, because I'm not sure if they're happy with, but they would not trade him, I think, unless they get something pretty steady or pretty healthy in return. I think they see the potential. They've held him back because they're not happy with his attitude and that like or comment he made on the Instagram page a while back about "Fire Jason Garrett." It was a Instagram page, and he liked a joke on there or something. But anyways, and at quarterback, I think the last bold prediction I have listed here is Mike White is just not going to make the team unless he plays tremendously much better tomorrow than he has. He has to basically beat out Cooper Rush. I just don't see us carrying three quarterbacks, with us having trouble at safety, with us having trouble at offensive line right now. We are heavy at defensive tackle. I was going to go over that, and that's what I was talking about with the Hot Boys. That part of the video, I was going to discuss that a little bit. But I just don't see us carrying three quarterbacks. Dak is a really strong, fit, thick, solid guy. The chances of him getting hurt, I think, are not. We put what I think is going to happen is we're going to put Mike White on the practice squad. If someone picks him up, then what we'll do is we'll pick up a veteran quarterback, or just have a veteran type quarterback there just in case Dak gets hurt, and we'll just constantly. They do that a lot. If they put a guy on a practice squad and a team takes him, then what they do is they have their the lower level, the management type guys. They always just keep a roster going of guys that are on free agency, guys that they could pick up, guys that got cut. And with us with every team having 90 players right now, there's going to be guys out there that don't make other squads that we could pick up as a backup quarterback if we go with Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush, and we put Mike White on the practice squad, and somebody snatches him up, then we just look for a veteran and keep him on the list, and keep a small 2 or 3 veteran list of quarterbacks that we could bring in if we needed to. So that's how I think that's going to work out. I'll go back and discuss those real quick, starting with the safety thing. Some other situations with Earl Thomas at safety. As I told you guys, he's been down at Austin for a while. He's well over 1.4 million dollars in fines at this point. And those are fines that the Seattle Seahawks could assess him with. The NFL cannot fine him at this point. And those fines that Seattle have against him, they could return. So we'll see. I know I've mentioned that before. Um, the new things with Earl Thomas that I wanted to mention, um, like the situation here, that's they've passed on too many, and not just passed on too many other quality safeties that are out there. They haven't even made calls or checked on anyone, or uh, you know, all these guys that have been out there at safety that have been available. The Cowboys haven't even made an offer or made a phone call or checked to see if, what's going on with that or anything. Hey, what's up, Hawk? How you doing, brother? Also, how we doing, Garrett? That's not Jason Garrett's not on the page. Yeah, that's Thomas Garrett. He's from Knoxville, Tennessee. Um, and who else we got in here? D. Will. How you doing, D. Will? Buddy Johnson. Um, so I think the Earl Thomas thing is a lock because we're definitely thin at safety, and the current safeties we have are very valuable on special teams. So they're not only going to be playing safety. The safeties we have right now are going to be playing. Yeah, Nashville. I'm sorry, brother. Uh, yeah, Herb is the one from Knox. I'm saying Knoxville, Nashville. But anyways, uh, Earl Thomas is. He's just one of those guys that could change our whole secondary. And we're so thin at safety. If we had Earl Thomas, that would allow Heath and Frazier to be a little more free, and as well as Xavier Woods, be a little more free to play special teams. As you guys know, Earl Thomas would not play special teams. We wouldn't put him in jeopardy like that. But you're telling me we've got three safeties right now, and Woods is already hurt. So Kevon Frazier and Jeff Heath are going to continue playing special teams. They've been two of our most valuable special team players for the last year or two. So these guys, we've got to get more depth at safety. It is a team it is a position that almost every team loads those safeties up on special teams. So Tyree Johnson is the guy that we're going to be watching tonight at safety. Tonight, and excuse me, I keep saying tonight because I've had that set in my head. Tomorrow night, the game with the Cowboys, Tyree Johnson at safety is one of the guys we're going to have to take a look at. He's going to get a lot of playing time, as well as Brown. You guys know he's been versatile. As far as his health goes, he's been out there. He hasn't had any issues. He stays on the field really well. So they're going to play that guy. Tyree Robinson. He's a big question mark right now. We still need him, even if we do the Earl Thomas thing, which like I said earlier in the video, I think that's the bold prediction I have is we will sign Earl Thomas. Rico Gathers is on the squad. There's no way they're going to cut him. They could possibly trade him. And I think Mike White, there's just no way we carry three quarterbacks on the roster. So Mike White is he's an asset we don't need. Having three quarterbacks is a luxury. You do that when, you've got, if Tony Romo was here, yeah, I would definitely say we would need to have a third quarterback because at any given point, he has injury histories. Dak Prescott doesn't have that, so I don't see the reason to carry Tyree Robinson, brother. That's who I was talking about at safety. So I have some names written down and I've got them sideways, so I read the name crooked there. But yeah, I've been looking at him this morning as well as going over the roster. So those are the three things I had kind of wanted to stress. The other thing was going over the depth chart at the defensive tackle. But prior to doing that, I want to go over the tight end, which is the other bold prediction. being that Rico Gathers, like I said, Rico Gathers will make the team. And the reason I think that is just the other three tight ends are very similar, as well as Jarwin, I think is a lock. Probably as our number one, number two. I think him and Swain are going to kind of share a little bit of time, but I really think as the season goes on, when we need to rely on a tight end in the passing game, they're going to start using Rico more. I think in the first 2, 3, 4 games, they're going to use him uh, sparingly, but I think by the time the fifth, sixth game comes around, they're going to realize that they've got something that no one else in the league has, and they're going to start using Rico Gathers quite a bit more as the season goes on, and he is able to get in there, learn the playbook, and part of seeing the playbook and him learning the playbook is learning it at full speed. He's got to learn that at full speed against the defense. That's what really helps understand those things. Victor Gonzalez can come down to cover tight ends, and he can tackle. Oh, okay, yeah. I know he's got the things that Keith Richard wants to see. So maybe it's going to work out. Maybe he can slide in there and be our fourth safety. But I still think with the amount of time we play the safeties on special teams and so forth, that we need to get Earl Thomas in there. And the thing I think it's a lock is because too many safeties, as everyone knows, we've been talking about safety. Throw the whole Earl Thomas thing out. We've been talking about how we're thin at safety. And we're not talking about we're thin at safety because of Earl Thomas. We're talking about we're thin at safety because we're thin at safety. So if we are, why have they not looked at these, number? There's been a number, 5 or 6 guys out there that have been on the market, and the Cowboys haven't checked on it. So that's why I think it's a lock. They think they know it's going to happen. They're just going to pull the trigger when they can, and they're going to wait to do it at the last minute when they'll get the best deal. The longer it goes, unless we have another safety get hurt this week, then Seattle knows we're hurting for safety as well. Rowdy with the numerous, the Cowboys want to showcase Rico for the trade on Sunday. How would you feel about a trade for? Yeah, that's what I mentioned before. I don't think there's anyone out there. I like Rico's ability and his ceiling. I hate to use that word. Everybody uses that word all the time, but Rico's ceiling is really up there. And Earl Thomas is 29, but if you want to win now, you make trades that can win you games now. And I think the other tight ends we have are decent, hard-working, blue-collar guys that can get the job done. But I think Rico's a standout at tight end as far as the receiving game goes. But if you could give Mike White and Rico Gathers and a third-round pick and get Earl Thomas, that's a little heavy. But we're giving up 2 guys and a third-round pick that basically we haven't at this point used much anyways. So I would be down with that. I think it's a fair trade. I love Rico, but we need Earl more. Yeah, I agree. X Factor, Cowboys Crunk. I hear from Mark Holmes that tonight he will be live streaming on YouTube. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll jump over on E2 Blues. I know that those guys are close. They live close together. They get to visit a lot. So hopefully he'll get a chance to come down to Houston. I offered him to come down for the game next week, but it's preseason, and he's going to the Carolina game the next week. So he said, hey, man, I can't do 2 games in a row in a week for traveling, So he's going to be at home during the Texans game. Not tomorrow night, but the next game. And then we'll get on his YouTube channel there with E2 Blue and talk to him through that way. So I'm here that the Cowboys are looking to waiver wire for safety. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing they're looking. Once these cuts start happening, they'll start looking for some guys. The thing is, right now with safety, all those other safeties that went and were signed within the last couple weeks and months. Vaccaro, I think Reed is still out there. Let me check this one thing. I'll give you guys a list of the safeties that have been signed here in the last. Let me go forward with this one. I've got that set to show. All right, yeah, that's forward. Go back on this one. Yeah, go back. And there's a list of safeties out there, guys, that have been signed within the last couple of months, and they're not Earl Thomas type safeties, but they're relatively, on the market. They're better than anything we have right now. I would list those safeties that got picked up in the last month. I would list all of them better than the guys we got on our roster now. I with Xavier Woods having the possibility to be our best safety by far, I think. Here we go. The safeties, Football Outsiders predict high slots. Earl Thomas and other options to fix the Cowboys. Here it is. This is an article I read earlier today, and that's where I got the name from. Here we go. Tyrann Mathieu, Trey Robinson, Eric Reed, Kenny Vaccaro. These are guys that are definitely better than what we have now, and the Cowboys weren't interested. And we've been thin at safety since the end of last season. As you guys know, we assumed 100% we were going to go safety in the draft, and we didn't see safety called. We didn't see safety called at the draft. We didn't see safety called, and we're like, what the hell is going on here? We didn't trade for Earl Thomas then because Connor Williams was on the board. So when that pick came up, the Cowboys pulled their offer to Seattle and picked Connor Williams, and it was a good pick at the time because what they were thinking is we can get Earl Thomas later, and they're still thinking that. It's obvious, guys. There's just too many things. Yeah, Honey Badger was on the market, and they basically what they said about the Honey Badger is he didn't fit our scheme. And dude, that guy's an insane safety. He would fit anyone's scheme. Let me go back over a couple of the other guys like you were talking about. Trey Boston. Also, they said he didn't play free safety. He's played free safety for 4 years. He doesn't play strong safety. He plays free safety. So the Cowboys have been given excuses on why they're not taking these guys, why they didn't look at them, why they didn't make offers. Yeah, Honey Badger's a talented guy. What's up? Hey, what's up, James? Thanks for jumping in, guys. I agree. X Factor. Honey Badger's a really very talented guy. I watched a whole episode or a couple episodes on him on the Barwin guy. I don't know if you guys know. He's out of Detroit. He runs a gym up there. It's Barwin Athletics, or what he does is he takes athletes, prepares them for the combine, gets them ready. Tyrann Mathieu had a horrible combine, dude. He did 6 reps, I think, at 225 6. I can do. I'm only weigh 182 pounds. I could do 12 reps at 225, no problem. So I'm not understanding how an NFL player that weighs the same thing as I do, and I'm 45. At the time I was 45. The last time I did that, but it's only 2 years ago. Where that came from, that he only did 6 reps. They got him up to Barwin. He did well up there. They improved his numbers quite a bit, and he went into the draft and did okay as far as playing for Arizona and New Orleans. Was it New Orleans he started with? But anyways, yeah, these guys, Eric Reed, Kenny Vaccaro, all of those guys I feel are stronger than what we have at safety. And they're all signing, $2-3 million contracts, and we've got Earl Thomas asking. That is a problem for me. We got Earl Thomas asking probably to sign with the Cowboys for somewhere around $12 million a year, and that's steep, guys. When there's safeties out there, so it's odd. We do have the money to go get him, and we just haven't done it yet. Damn, TG, Target. Hey, that's my nickname I gave Thomas Garrett. I call him Target. He's always on point. My man is 50 years old can do 15 to 20 reps at 225. So salute, man, to you for knocking on the gym. It's been about a year for me that I haven't been in there much at all. I've been busy. My numbers are down, my weight is down, and all that. So, um, which corner is this? Are you talking about the corner that we're carrying, the Cowboys is carrying? Ward. I want to see Ward corner from. Are you talking about the? You talking about the cornerback for the Cleveland Browns? That's directed at you there. Oh, Cavarius Ward. Oh yes, yeah. I think we haven't seen him much. They're trying to work Byron Jones, and get him solid at corner, and also Chidobe Awuzie. Those guys have played great. I think they wanted to. A lot of times when you have these young players that you think, man, these guys are going to be outstanding, you play them in game one or two, and you do that because if they get an injury, they get a nick, they get a hamstring in game one or two of the preseason, then by game one or game two, they're ready during the regular season. So I think you're going to see those two guys, Chidobe Awuzie and Byron Jones, probably not play very much the second half or at all in the third game because you don't want them to get a hamstring or a jam toe or something with a finger or with a hand or especially a soft tissue muscle thing. The game before our first regular season game. The fourth preseason game to the third preseason game. So I think those guys will come onto the field. Javarius Ward, I'll take a look at him. I'll write his name down as well. As you guys know, I've been doing film stuff, and I did a lot of it in Afghanistan. I wanted to get a TV here for the office and have a second camera that I could switch to show the TV. But with this stuff going on with Mark Holmes and Law, I want to make sure that's not a problem. Um, let's see. Bro, we need somebody to replace Brown. I know me and you're on the same page with that, Hawk. We talked about it before. I just don't think Brown is. I just don't think he's the one to be on the field for us. Maybe in even a low level backup. I don't trust Brown. He has too many pass interference calls. He gives up too many plays. Um, and I slightly feel that way about Lewis. Jordan Lewis hasn't performed to me the way he should. He had some plays last year during the regular season that I recall. One of them was a pass interference against the Packers, and then right after that they went right back at him. So we'll see. Yeah, are you Thomas? You talking about or Target? I'm sorry, that's Target Thomas. TG, the Target. Are you talking about Brown? Or are you talking about the? Oh yeah, he's out. Yeah, you're obviously talking about Brown. Yeah, he gets burned. Um, all right, let me jot homeboy's name down. But we're really nervous about the footage thing. My concern with what happened with Mark Holmes is, and I'll tell you guys what I think. I think he's taking views away because the Dallas Cowboys have a marketing uh, department, of course. Their marketing department is run by Jerry Jones' daughter. Uh, Within that marketing department, I know that they've got their regular YouTube channels. I think they call it the Round Table, the Dallas Cowboys. They're always inside the Star doing their shows, and they're interviewing Jerry Jones and interviewing Stephen Jones and interviewing Chidobe. They get the players in there on YouTube and interview them. And if you look at their YouTube videos, they have maybe 20% of the views Mark Holmes has. And I think they don't like that. I think that the money that they're losing from YouTube by not having good YouTubers do their videos, by having these old guys there that played, and I understand some of them played football back in the day, some of them didn't. One of them, dude, one of the guys, I just never agree with anything he has to say. He's always negative. I think his name's Herman or something like that, the bearded guy. His name is on this article too because he wrote something negative right here. His name, David Hellman. I mean, these dudes that are doing the videos, they just constantly, oh, well, Rico Gathers is fourth on the list because he deserves to be fourth on the list because he can't learn the playbook and blah blah blah, and I'm like, dude, I know he don't know the playbook. He has some trouble blocking, but look at the other three tight ends you got. They're not doing a damn thing. So keep Rico Gathers, and that's what we put out. And these guys that they've got doing their YouTube channels for them, they have no views. Their videos are horrible. They get to interview elite personnel and Stephen Jones, but I think the videos we're doing, especially guys like Mark Holmes and Law that have like 28, 29, 30,000 followers, those guys are taken away from their views on YouTube. And I think that's why it happened. Their channels were big, and it's like a marketing thing. Mark Holmes' channel and Law's channel and these guys, their channels were big enough where it was causing the Cowboys YouTube channels that fall under their marketing department and fall under the official Dallas Cowboy channels. It's taken views away from them. That's why I think it happened. Nothing more than that. I think their channels were just strong, they looked good, and they made the Cowboy channels not look so good. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they can afford to get rid of Rico and have him go somewhere else and be a star. Yeah, that's going to happen. We all know it will, and I don't think they'll do it unless it's a trade. The only way they're going to get rid of Rico is a trade. He's done too much, and they see that. They're just holding him back because of that fire Jason Garrett Instagram thing that was posted. Brother, I think Jerry Jones is behind it. It falls under. I think that's what the situation is. I haven't had a chance to talk to Mark about that yet, but I think that's all it is. His channel is big. He has a lot of views, and he takes away from Dallas Cowboy growing. And as I mentioned last night on my 2-hour rant about some of these other things, everything Dallas Cowboys is copyright, legit, certified, and that's the reason they're the number one franchise in the world as far as sports goes. As far as net worth, their net worth is more than Real Madrid and more than Barcelona. Dude, I'm telling you, I travel the world. Everywhere I go, I see Real Madrid, Real Madrid, Real Madrid stickers, Real Madrid soccer balls, Real Madrid jerseys. There's probably billions of Ronaldo jerseys out there, but Real Madrid doesn't get any money off of that because they don't do like the Cowboys do and Jerry Jones. They keep all of that controlled. If they see something wrong, like as I mentioned, this Super Bowl trophy that I got, they shut the company down because it wasn't it was a copyright thing. Where we got, you agree with Lincoln Hawk? The guys are awful. He thinks he knows it all. Sucks. And yeah, I don't care for this. If you're talking about the Hellman guy, I think that's who you're talking about. All those guys that run those shows with them, Rick Spagnola, or I'm gonna get my page pulled just for talking shit on these Hellman guys and Spagnola and. Yeah, that's cool. Hey, nice to know that, brother. Chris Senior, I guess it is, yeah. Let me know where you're at, what you do, brother. I work in Afghanistan. I've been over there for 12 years, 14 years now. I did 2 years in Iraq. I work for the military now. I'm the guy that imports all their fuel. Brodus is cornball. All those dudes are cornball, dude. They suck. They don't have real. They just got goofy ass cowboy fans up there doing their stuff, and people don't want to watch it. They don't. They want to. They want to have real information, real time information, and there's a chat thing that I can't remember his name either. A little blonde dude. He comes on and he does 4 stars or 5 stars or 2 stars on. Do you think this is a rumor? You guys don't know who that is. I watch him sometime. Leesville, Louisiana. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of KBR guys out of Leesville. I can't remember one of the camp commanders. One of the camp commanders I used to work with was out of Leesville. I believe he was. They called him Base One. He was in charge of the base there, and he brought all of his guys in from Leesville. So, but yeah, back to what you were talking about. Crunk, or excuse me, Brodus sucks also. There, Hawk. Those guys, I just don't. I don't fall in love with what they got to say at all. It's usually informative but late. They won't post anything until it's like hours later, and they won't get on and we say, hey, they think this is going to happen. They won't say this is what we need to do for Earl Thomas. This, if we're going to do it, we should do this. They just get on there and give you some news, and I don't care for it. Robert, Chris Senior, thank you for your service, man. Yeah, thank you for your service, bro. I did 14 years active duty Air Force, traveled around the world, and now I work for a company in the Middle East, and we do 90% military contracts. So I'm in Afghanistan, I'm in Iraq, I'm in Istanbul, Incirlik, Turkey. I'm headed to Incirlik, Turkey probably for December and January to start up a contract there at Incirlik Air Base for the fuel. That's what I do, bro. I love my job, and you guys know, Mark Holm mentions it all the time, and so does Vach Lombardi. They always give me a shout out, and that's cool. It gives me an opportunity to travel and do what I like to do, and take care of the military guys, and save the government millions of dollars. The things our company has done. So, yeah, hey, thanks, Chris. Please join the channel, bro. We have good talks here. I don't get in the Lord of War. Is that like the video game or the TV show? Bro, I do my videos. I watch my cowboy stuff. I work. My wife keeps me busy here, so. Yeah, I'm hoping so. I have an opportunity to open an office here in Houston. Also, there's a government job that I might be working out of the house soon. That will be within the next year or two, and it's working for the agency that we support now. My company is called National Fuel. We're one of the largest companies in the Middle East supporting fuel, or we are the largest supporting fuel for the military, and we do that for Iraq, Afghanistan. We're the fuel suppliers. And so I travel around Tajikistan, Turkmenistan. We set up fuel supply lines, supply chains for the military, and we ship the fuel into those countries, to include Africa. Luckily, I haven't had to make a trip down there yet. It's pretty the conditions there are pretty rough. But I got it good in Kabul. I stay inside the airport. I got 13 airports I'm in charge of for the fuel missions, the Interplane, working with Emirates Airlines, Turkish Airlines. So that's what I do. It's civilian airports and military fuel supply, based out of Afghanistan, Kabul, and Dubai. That's where I normally am. So I'm here on vacation right now, doing some videos for you guys and trying to watch the game that is on tomorrow that I thought was on tonight, and I've been so busy I haven't even looked at the schedule. I was thinking the game was at 7 p.m. tonight. So in an hour we have dinner with a couple, or actually a late lunch, that my wife does her Instagram stuff with. So back to football stuff. I'm sorry guys, I got sidetracked, but we had Chris jump in here on the channel, Chris Senior, and I wanted to say salute to him. For being a military vet, brother, and sorry so much about your 100% disability. I hope everything gets taken care of, and I hope our new president is doing good things for you, because I'm not in the disabled vet category as of yet, but I do have some things, and I know Donald Trump states that he's going to take care of those things and has been. So support our country, support our flag, and all those things. The game is tomorrow, guys. As I was informed early in the chat by Roger Ash, I think. Roger Asher. One of the guys informed me because I thought the game was tonight. But the game is definitely tomorrow, guys. So anyways, back to the tight end thing. We were going over Rico Gathers, the plays that he's made, the opportunity he has to help the team. As you guys know, Jason Witten was a big security blanket for Tony Romo. He fell right into that position with Dak Prescott. The thing was, as you guys know, his speed had slowed down. We had a lot of 3rd and 3s, a lot of 3rd and 5s that they went to Jason Witten. I said Tony Romo earlier, but Jason Witten was a security blanket for Tony Romo. He also was a security blanket for Dak Prescott, and he learned that from Tony Romo. And I know Dak Prescott came into that system, and Tony Romo said, "Look, man, I'm hurt." Today is also the 2-year anniversary from that injury, the injury that Tony Romo went down on. Today's exactly the same day 2 years ago that happened. So Dak Prescott has been our starting quarterback as of today for 2 years. Tony Romo actually handed the ball off one time to Ezekiel Elliott, and if you guys research that, there's a picture. There's a picture of Tony Romo handing Ezekiel Elliott. He did a reverse spin, handed the ball off to Ezekiel Elliott. That's the only time Tony Romo ever handed the ball to Ezekiel Elliott. That was kind of cool for me to read today. It just, man, I was like, wow. Tony Romo never had the chance to have Ezekiel Elliott behind him. You know, that would have been awesome to see Tony Romo and Ezekiel Elliott there together. I'm a Dak fan as well, but just to give up that opportunity to Tony Romo, you know, he had Jason Witten in his prime, so now we've got to find. Dak Prescott has his Ezekiel Elliott. We need to find him his security blanket, and I think that can be Rico Gathers. I don't think it's one of the other guys. Rico just stands out too much. I hope Rico gets a chance with us. He will tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow we have the opportunity to check him out. He's going to get a lot of playing time, along as the safety Tyree Johnson. He's going to get a lot of playing time. Robinson, excuse me, I said Johnson earlier as well. So there's a few spots that are going to get a lot of playing time tomorrow night, and we'll get to as well. Mike White is going to get some playing time, but I just think we're not going to be able to keep 3 quarterbacks. Okay, so I went over those 3 bold predictions. I'm going to get back on focus, on topic, but I will check the real quick. Cowboy Crunk to UC trading Earl Thomas. He comes next, or he comes next year if Seattle doesn't re-sign him. Obviously, they will sign an offensive lineman for depth. Yeah, they're looking for offensive linemen as well. I wish they were looking for defensive tackles. We are stout at that position. I was about to go over that, but your question, yeah. We're gonna sign him. I think it's inevitable. That was one of the 3. If you read the topic of the video, 3 bold predictions. We're signing Earl Thomas. We're keeping Rico Gathers, and we're cutting Mike White. We just don't have the personnel on the 53-man roster to carry an extra quarterback. That's a luxury. So that's where I am on that. And you can go back watch the video from the beginning. Hey, what's up, Cowboys family? Want to go over the defensive tackle position. Cowboys family, since you're a big time YouTuber and you got a lot of followers, I just mentioned what the video was about. The 3 predictions are, to me, we will sign Earl Thomas. We passed on too many other safeties and hadn't even looked at them. Tight end Rico Gathers is too valuable to give up. There's no way we're going to cut him or put him on the practice squad. If they trade him, it might be the only thing that happens, but he's a lock on a team somewhere. We will see Rico Gathers play somewhere in the NFL, and I'm expecting to be the Dallas Cowboys. The 3rd is quarterback. We've had too many injuries already. We do not have the spots on a 53-man roster to carry 3 quarterbacks. That's a luxury we don't have right now. So that's where I was going with that. I'm going to jump into talking about them hot boys. So let me go over to my position on the hot boys here. I want to go over week 1 roster preseason, week 2 roster preseason, and week 3 roster preseason, and where I think we'll be at the end of this as far as the defensive tackles go. We've moved guys around this week as well as last week, and basically we've done that because I can't get my scroll to scroll right now. We've done that because we're taking a look at all these defensive tackles because we've got to get them put in some kind of order where we can make cuts. Like this thing's really ticking me off now. Now it's going all the way back to the top. And okay, moderate chances for Earl Thomas. Where are we at? That was the Earl Thomas information. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Up. Went too far again. My computer. Some of these pages now have so many pop-ups that it's a pain in the ass to. Where are we at? All right, one more down. I think. Here we go for blogging the boys. Defensive tackle, Hard Knocks outside. As you guys know, the Hard Knocks episode this week showed a lot on. Showed a lot on the Des Bryant situation, and that's still a possibility. They're still talking to him. He states on his Instagram that he has his contract. He can prove it to you. He can send you his contract on Instagram. He's still talking to the Cleveland Browns. So the defensive tackles, where is this damn thing at? Here we go. All right. Wanted to go back and forth on that, but week three preseason depth chart. Currently at defensive tackle, as you guys know, on the defensive line, I'll go across the complete defensive line. We got DeMarcus Lawrence this week. It's DeMarcus Lawrence, Antoine Woods, Dayton Jones, and Tyrone Crawford. Now that's not our starting lineup. Those are the guys they're wanting to take a look at this week. That's the order they've got them on. Last week, Jihad Ward was the number 3, or excuse me, the number 1. He was on first team defensive tackle. They moved him down to number 3. And that's not necessarily because he's the number 3 defensive tackle at the one tech. It's because basically they're moving these guys around from 1 to 3 tech, and some of them, like Tyrone Crawford, from defensive end to 3 tech and stuff like that to get a different look at them so that they can get a package deal where they have the right amount of 3 techs, the right amount of 1 techs, and the right amount of left and right defensive ends. So the way they're moving around, these hot boys have not been hot so far. They have 1 sack for the season, and that came from Taco Charlton. In 2 games, 1 sack is not going to cut it. That's not putting enough pressure on the opposing quarterback, and it's going to give the opposing quarterback time to pick our secondary apart, no matter Earl Thomas is back there or not. So that is something that needs to be changed dramatically. DeMarcus Lawrence has had some play time, not too much. Tyrone Crawford has had quite a bit of play time, but we've got to start. As you guys know, Malik Collins is still. Hasn't played a snap yet during the preseason games. We've got to get him back healthy. He's a lock. Taco Charlton's a lock. DeMarcus Lawrence a lock. The guys that are on the bubble are like Dorrance Armstrong. They have Randy Gregory listed as the 4th defensive end. You guys know that's not anywhere possible. The Cowboys like to do things, it seems like, to put you in punishment, put you on timeout, put you in the corner. So Randy Gregory being on the 4th team defensive end is completely insane. They got Coney Ely in front of him and Dorrance Armstrong. I suspect Randy Gregory will get a lot of playing time tomorrow night also, as well as Charles Tapper. I think he's healthy. But these are guys, some of the veterans that have been with the team. They're going to take some look at these guys, and they're going to either move the new guys up in front of them, or they're going to put the new guys on on the practice squad, or they'll be cut if needed. Currently, right now, on the roster, we've got 16 defensive linemen and defensive tackles, which most of them are flexible on defense, 3 tech and 1 tech, and then a couple of our defensive ends are flexible on 3 tech and defensive end, which Tyrone Crawford, as you guys know, is one. Dorrance Armstrong and Coney Ely. That is their benefit to being on the squad, is they can play some some 3 tech and 1 tech, and that's what I mentioned about the free safety thing. If you can play free safety and you can play strong safety, that's a bonus. But being able to jump on the special teams and play well on special teams, which most safeties should be able to play special teams, um, that's a bonus as well, because we can't have Kayvon Frazier, Jeff Heath, and Xavier Woods playing special teams like we did before, as thin as we are at safety, as far as backups, and not having the J.J. Wilcox anymore. That was a guy I really liked. I liked him because he hit well. He was a downhill safety that would pop. My nickname for him was J.J. Pop Wilcox, because he would pop your ass if he saw you come between those linebackers. J.J. Wilcox was gonna pop you. Don't forget, we might pick up a depth center. Yeah, I saw that today. I was trying to catch his name. Man, that went down so quick. I think I had lost connection there for a second, because I had about 20. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, Cinchi. I was looking over him. I'm gonna do some while I'm at dinner with our. This is horrible. While I'm at dinner with my wife's friends, and her friends. Let's see, my wife's friend and his husband. I probably be researching some video stuff on this guy, because I haven't had a chance to. Man, Tapper shows flashes. That's exactly right. The dude he's a beast, and then he disappears. It's like he comes in like the Terminator or the Predator and just kills somebody on a play. He'll blow the whole center up, and then you're like, dude, what happened? Tapper's been in the game for, he had that one beast mode sack, and then you haven't seen anything from him. So that's my prediction on Tapper. They're trying to get him to make the squad, but it's up to him. He has to be more explosive, more consistent. Hey, there you go, Stevie Mac. Stevie Mac in the house. Can the Dallas game be today instead? Yeah, I wish, but no, it's tomorrow. Those guys just informed me. I actually thought the game was today. We planned dinner around it. I had laid food out to cook. I just got so busy. I looked at the schedule once early this week, and I looked at the date, and I think the problem was one of my computers is still set on Afghanistan time. So I looked at the schedule on that, I think, and it showed a 12-hour advance, or like 11-hour advance, and it showed the game on the 26th, or the 25th. Or something. I don't know. But anyways, the time is wrong on one of my computers. But anyways, guys, we went over that. I think the Hot Boys have some problems. They got to solve some things. Right now, the Hot Boys are a hot mess with 1 sack in 2 games, and that's only from Taco Charlton. And that's if you said one guy had a sack in preseason, who would it be? Taco Charlton probably wouldn't be the guy you'd pick. But that's a benefit to us. Taco Charlton looks like he's coming around. He's getting some playing time in preseason. Hopefully that'll continue. So we'll see. But I'm gonna jump off, guys. I got 40 minutes, or actually about 30 minutes to get ready. I'm gonna go check out, like I said, dinner with the wife's friends and her Instagram partner she deals with, and hopefully we'll be back, get some news, and watch these games tonight. I'd pick D-Law, but I'd take an improved Taco. Yeah, I agree. Salute to our veteran. Hey, Chris Smith, or Chris Senior, if you're not on the My Cowboys family page, jump over there and jump on their page. They show really good, a lot of good conversation there on the My Family page. Also, you guys support Mark Holmes. As you know, his page is down. It's not going to be back up, it looks like. And like I said, I think it's just because his page is too big. He's taken numbers away from the Cowboys marketing pages. They have pages where they market the star. They do the shows inside the star, and those pages don't get a lot of views. And I think Mark Holmes and Law, those guys are getting more views than them, so they shut them down. And that's what I think it is. I think it has nothing to do with content or anything at all, or copyright, or any of that crap that they sent him. I think his channel just keeps those, like Hellman let me get your real quick before I leave. My Cowboy family. Do you guys do you follow like Steve Hellman and what's that other guy's name? Um, I had their names here earlier. You guys throw some of their names out. Hellman and those guys that do the round table, David Hellman and Brodus. Yeah, I think the problem is those guys aren't getting the views. Thank you, Cowboy family. I'm not a name guy. That's one thing I have in common with Mark Holmes. Those guys are not getting the views that some of us are getting. Not myself, but Mark Holmes and Law and those guys. I think they shut their channel down because those guys follow under Cowboy management. And if you take away from Jerry Jones, he's going to find you and he's going to cut it off. So that's what I think it is. I don't know if anybody else has an opinion on that because I watch Mark's channel and it has nothing to do with copyright or any of that crap that's being posted. Yeah, that's what I think it is. My Cowboy family is. I just think they're getting too many views and it's causing a problem with the Cowboys. So. I listen to Skip Bayless at times because he pulls for the Cowboys, but you know he's a good guy as well. So thanks, guys. I'm gonna go get ready for dinner. It's time for some jalapeno margaritas. Since I don't have a Cowboy game tonight, I can enjoy and relax and sit back and watch some football games that don't matter as much. Hey, thanks, Cowboy family. Thanks, Stevie Mack, for jumping in. Herb Faust from Tennessee. Also, all my Tennessee family out there that are going to be at the draft. Take care, guys. We'll see you later. Enjoy the show. Cowboys tomorrow. Tomorrow, not tonight.